When you start seeing that you can do this, that fucking job is going to be secondary now. And that's exactly what you want. You want to do everything that beefs up and fortifies what you're doing as an investor. Because as an investor, there is no ceiling. There is no limit that you can say, okay, this is as much as I can earn. Who says that? Who says that you can't do that? Who says that you can't make $10,000 a month? Who says you can't make $10,000 a week? Who the fuck said you can't make $10,000 a trade? Who's saying you can't? The only person that can stop it is you. You. The same person that's saying, you know, I don't like having to go to work, but man, I'm glad I got my job right now. What would I do if I didn't have my job? What the fuck would you do if you didn't have your job and you're earning money from your investments? That's the question you should be asking. Flip it. Instead of saying, what would I do if I lost my job? That's an abusive relationship and you're fucking holding on to it. You need to look at this chart right now. One of these two areas in the day, that's your home. That's where you're going to start. At your next home that you're going to move into. Mentally, psychologically, and you're going to live there. You're not going to give a fuck what the neighbors are doing in the morning session if you're trading in the afternoon. If you're trading in the morning session, you don't give a fuck what your neighbors are doing in the afternoon session. You're picking one. You're going to become a specialist in this, in that specific time of the day. The problem is you want more right now. You're holding yourself to an expectation that you are not realistically going to meet. And then you're wondering why you're depressed and anxious. You're feeling rushed. You're weighing yourself against what you think you should know by now, and that's bullshit. It's only been 1 week. 1 week, and you think you're supposed to quit your job and be able to double your fucking account in a month. That's not practical, man. Or lady. It's not something that you should be aspiring to do right now. Can you do that and eventually over time? Sure you can, absolutely. Let it be a goal that you work towards, but you have to place time and experience and invite the opportunity for that experience to come in and build before you take on those monumental projects and goals for yourself. But the first thing you're trying to learn how to do now is find the setups that repeat. And then once you find that one that repeats, you will learn how to trust it because you see it happening every day. Every day it'll be there. You just can't identify it right now. And that's absolutely normal. That's normal. There's no reason to be anxious about that. But at some point, you may be forced to make changes in your personal life to be able to do this. I did. I had to. I had to work 2 part-time jobs to get the difference between what I was earning at my full-time job. It's a lot. One job was across town, one was real close to my home. One paid next to nothing, but those hours were permissible because of the times I'm trying to trade. And I was trying to do that morning session with the bond market. That's what I was trying to trade. That was the thing that I was working towards. And I had to give up, my job so I could be in front of the chart to do that. It's scary, yes. But I didn't do it blindly. I said, I'm going to do this now because I have all this back testing. I have all this forward testing. I have the data to support the fact that I know I can make $1,000 a week in bonds. And I don't need to trade every single day. I'm looking for that one trade for that 1 week. I'm teaching you how to see this every day. That builds confidence real quick, but not to inspire overconfidence. Not, I'm quitting my fucking job tomorrow now. I'm ready. You got me all hyped up now. No, I'm aligning your perspective and aligning your thoughts with what it is I'm trying to put you through. So that way the experience itself will be the educator. I'm just the coach. I'm putting you in front of the charts when the setups are going to form. Trusting that your observation skills, which are hopefully menial, if you can read, okay, and if you can observe, you'll see it. It'll be there. It'll jump off the chart. Right now, it probably doesn't jump off the chart. I mean, you can see where I'm annotating the charts in the morning session. You can see what I've annotated in the afternoon. Those annotations were real time. They're not added after the fact. So when I talk about what the charts are likely to do, what the next candles and what series of candles and what it should perform, going higher or lower, don't go lower than this, go here, stop, maybe retracing, consolidate, and go up here next or go down here next. All of that is experience. That part comes to you over time. How much time? You're all going to learn that differently. Chances are you're probably just worrying about things and what if thinking. What if I don't get this as soon as I want to? What if, I lose my job now? And I wasn't worried about that. Now fucking ICT's giving me a complex. I'm having a phobia about losing my job now. Good. You should be afraid of losing your job. You absolutely should be afraid of losing your job because you're not essential. You're not. You can be made redundant real quick. So you have to have a way of being able to do what? Because if you lost your job, let's just say it like this. If you lose your job, they fired you. You go in on Monday and they say, hey, look, and you're sacked. You're out of here. Here's your pink slip. Goodbye. What the hell? They don't care. They don't care that you have children. They don't care that you have student debt. They don't care that your mortgage went up because they raised property taxes. They don't give a shit. But what are you forced to do then? Go out there and look for another job. That may require you to do a different work schedule, workload, skills that you aren't really that good at yet, but you got to go through the stress of going through it. Why? Because you got to earn the money. Okay, the money that's available in these marketplaces, why is that any different? All you're doing is going through the training process to get your certificate, your degree, your diploma. That's what you're here for this year. Some of you want to walk out and be a fucking surgeon just because you read Grey's Anatomy. That's not practical. You can't do that, folks. And this is really technical. And it's very hard, and you're wrestling with the brightest minds in the entire world. And they're trying to beat you. They're making it almost impossible if you use retail stuff. Because those things, they're distractions. And all I'm asking you to do is really look at this chart and figure out where, and don't use these individual swings to justify either. Think about where you are in your personal life. What changes are you comfortable with making to allow yourself to be in these markets watching it live? 2.5, 3 hours of a day, a couple times a week, that's all you need. Because one good setup per week can replace your entire work week and what you earn. It doesn't feel like that, but it's exactly what it is. And when you can repeat it every week, it compounds. And then because you can do that, your confidence level, your trust in yourself and what you're learning and what you have learned will repeat. Then you're willing to do what? What an entrepreneur does, expand. Make more changes to allow for this to completely and utterly replace your job. But that doesn't happen right away. You're listening to people that are broke. They're broke. And you're taking this and you're listening to it and you're taking it and you're subscribing to it. And you're holding yourself back. For what? For what? You're afraid someone's going to say something bad about you online? Fuck these fucking broke motherfuckers. The people that are talking the loudest, they're fucking broke. Look around. Look around. These folks out there did not even use their own money, and they went into these other companies, did their processes, passed their combines, beat the shit out of the stuff they laid in front of them as a challenge, and they're taking down six-figure plus $500,000 now. And the companies themselves are interviewing them. Where's the fucking reason to doubt it? What's the excuse that you can't do it now? What is the excuse that says you can't do this? The ones that you're making up in your mind. The ones that you're saying, I just wish it was easier. I wish I could just do it faster. The folks that are doing it, I promise you, their fears, their biggest fear of how long it might take is a joke to them now because they are there now. They can do it. They know exactly what they're doing. They know tomorrow, next year, they're going to be able to do the same shit. And they think about the things that they worried about while they were going up. When they were working their ass off, going through this stuff, they were thinking about all the things that you're putting in your brain right now as a reason to just quit. Why bother? I promise you, if you are listening and you've made money using the shit I've taught, and you felt this overwhelming fear, or I want to quit, or it's going to take me forever. Once you got there, isn't it silly how you thought and clung to those fearful things and held them close to you like they're best friends? You don't want to let go of them. Those fearful thoughts are perfect excuses for you to stop. They're excuses as to why you didn't succeed, instead of saying, yeah, it's normal for me to feel this way. And when you get there and you make your money and you're consistently profitable, you're going to look back at that and see how silly that was. You're going to laugh literally out loud thinking, why the fuck did I think like that? But it's normal. But once you're there and you look back, it's like, that was dumb. Like, that was wasted fear and energy worrying about something that wasn't even that big of a factor. I just showed up every day, did what I was supposed to do, and I'm here now. I can't pull it back from them and say, oh, I don't like you. Let me take that information from you. Your abilities are now being revoked. Like a license agreement. No. You learned that skill. You fucking earned it. You worked for it. It's yours now. Run with it. I'm just asking to share with me in private what you're doing. I would love to keep up with all of you. And the folks that do well, they do that. Some of them have stepped out there in the public's eye and they see it. You see it. They want to be bigger giants and titans in the industry. God bless them. I'm not trying to pull any of them down. I'm pointing to them. Look what they did. Look what they did. I didn't tell them those trades. They got in on their own. They pushed their accounts up there on their own. That's fucking awesome. And every single one of you have the ability to do this and more. But you're sitting around worrying about, oh, what if the market stops working? Who the fuck knows if it's going to stop tomorrow? Who cares? Why are you worried about it? Well, all these people are learning your shit. I see the algorithm is going to change. I'm not changing shit. It's not changing. Why are you wasting time making excuses for your shit? Get out there and start working towards it. You might as well just roll over and fucking die if that's how you're thinking about it. Like, oh, well, what's the point? I might as well just work this shit job and this mundane existence, because they might change everything. What if is the worst thing you could ever do? If it's holding you back, if a what if thought is holding you back, you need to flip that shit upside down and say, what if it doesn't stop? What if I get out there and I do it and I fucking make way more money than I fucking never thought I could? What happens if I do it in half the fucking time that I've been fearful it's going to require? Do that. Because that's the shit I had to do. I had all those fearful thoughts. I had all that shit. And I said, you know what? There's nobody here encouraging me, so I'm going to look at this like I'm a fucking underdog. The world says I can't do it. My friends and family says I can't do it. My wife left me. I'm fucking broke. I'm going to change shit now. I'm going to fucking do this. They said I can't do it. I'm going to find 81 fucking ways to do it. 81! I dare a motherfucker out there to say they got more fucking entry techniques than me. There ain't a fucking person one that can do that. I will tap dance every fucking day on these fucking markets and do whatever the fuck I want. Moonwalk out the fucking door. Profitable. There ain't a fucking thing I can't do in these markets. And when you know how to do this shit, you'll feel just like that. And if they want to say you're arrogant, fuck them! Fuck them! They're broke! They're fucking working. They don't give a fuck about anything that's successful because they can't fucking do it. They want to drag you down. I'm telling you, I'm grabbing you by your fucking hair and I'm yanking your fucking ass up here with me. Come up here. Come up here. You're laying around these low vibration fucking morons. You're listening to people that are fucking broke. They're broke. And you're taking this bullshit and you're listening to it and you're taking it and you're subscribing to it. And you're holding yourself back. For what? For what? You're afraid someone's going to say something bad about you online? Fuck these fucking broke motherfuckers. The people that are talking the loudest, they're fucking broke. They can't come here and cancel shit. Look at this fucking army we are. Look how many motherfuckers are coming up. This crop ain't done growing. We're climbing. Okay? Everything that you're seeing around here, this community, even when I'm fucking slowing the fuck down, it's still gonna grow. Everybody's gonna be doing this shit in the future, and they're gonna say, you know what? This shit is the real fucking thing. This is the real shit. I wish I never would have done this. I wish I would have started sooner. Every person that's made fucking $500,000, $100,000, whatever the fuck it is, they've always said the same thing. I wish I wouldn't have listened to the bullshit that people say about ICT and his fucking concepts. I wish I would have started fucking sooner. I wish I would have blocked out all the bullshit, because this is it. This is exactly what I was looking for, and I wish I would have started sooner. Everybody fucking says that. Everybody says that. Nobody that put their efforts into this then fucking started making money said, I regretted doing this. Fuck this. I don't like all this fucking money. I don't like this fucking success. I don't like this fucking continuity. I hate being this fucking calm going in the marketplace. I can't stand not fucking being able to be a consistent loser. I want to fucking just stay in bed because it's just the same thing every day. I go out and I know what I'm looking for and it happens. Does that happen here? No. Everybody's calm, cool. I'm the only one that gets fucking nuts. Yes, this is the first time. It's unfiltered here. I'm not supposed to be listened to with your kids next to you. But there's a whole lot of bullshit in this industry from people that don't make no motherfucking money. They can't produce a fucking millionaire student. Ain't got no profitable fucking students. They got a lot of chit chat, a lot of shit talking. Ain't done shit. Ain't no receipts, ain't done shit. And you're letting them, these low vibration fucking cretins, these little fucking waste of fucking breath mutants, they're fucking bringing you down. They're bringing you down. You want to be with them. You want to hang with them. I don't roll like that. I don't roll with fucking people that says I can't do something, because I'm going to believe them. I'm going to agree with them, and I'm moving. I'm not staying there. I'm not pitching a tent around people that says it can't be done. Tell me I can't do it. I'm going to find multiple ways to come back in your fucking face and say, here's this way I did it. This is the way I did it over here. This is the way I did it here. This. You got to motivate yourself. You got to stay motivated. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of real effort, not just watching my fucking videos. I say it all the time. Watching them is not learning. It might inspire you. It may give you reasons to stay at it, but that is not to replace you going into your own charts, studying them, going to old moves. At the times I tell you when these specific models present themselves, go back in old moves. Forex, futures, commodities, I don't give a fuck what it is. You go out there and you prove to yourself. There's never been, ever, there has never, ever been a motherfucker ever came back and said, I went through all this stuff and I tried to look for it to fail and it's always there. It's never fucking happened. No one's ever came out and said ICT shit doesn't work with facts. It's never happened. Now you got some Tom, Dick, and Harry that wants to fucking try to get ad revenue on a fucking YouTube channel and ain't got shit going on in his life. Misery. He'll say all kinds of shit. And people like him will say all that kind of shit. But there's no actual fucking evidence. What do you do when you have all these people around the world, different walks of life, and they're coming forward and they're making real money? And not one company, every fucking funded company has ICT profitable students. Hello. Where the fuck is their students making money? Where are they making money? It ain't there. But you're listening to this bullshit. You're listening. You're entertaining that. You have to block out everything. Everything. Keep the focus on you. If you do that, I fucking guarantee you will find your model. And when you do, don't tinker with it. Don't add more to it. No matter what I teach in the future, don't do anything else. You feel all of that regret. And that's mental scar tissue. You know what happens when you have scar tissue? It's not as elastic. It doesn't allow movement. It's restricting. And it's so hard to overcome that level of fear That level of anxiety, that performance anxiety that you've created for yourself because you didn't fucking listen to someone that has done the same shit and told you you're going to do it wrong. And once you have that, this is why I tell all you young guys, you just want to go out there and fucking do the shit I told you I went through. Because you say, hey, look, man, it's just like in the movie in Jaws. The three guys are sitting down there. They're all showing each other's fucking scars. Look at this one here. Oh, look at this one. I got one better. Oh, I got one better than this one. Look at this. I got to pull my fucking pants leg up. This one here is a thresher shark. It got me. Kind of one up the next guy. Oh, I lost more money than you. I blew more accounts than you. Like, that's a fucking badge of honor. That's stupid. That's dumb. You are wasting fucking time. We don't have that now, folks. Look around. Shit's getting upside down. You're going to fucking have to be paying a whole lot of money for a steak dinner, okay? You're a carnivore diet? Patrick, you better be making some fucking money, motherfucker, because beef's about to get real expensive. Real expensive. Start getting a freezer. Stock that shit up, because it's going to get bad. But if you create this mental fucking scar tissue by doing the wrong things continuously, expecting a positive outcome, and when it doesn't happen, then you start thinking, shit, I wish I would have not done this. I wish I would have waited. And then you beat yourself up and you talk to yourself subconsciously. You're driving to work, hating the fucking fact that you didn't do what you thought you were going to be able to be successful in. But you're going back to that shithole of a fucking job. Sitting next to fucking Carl. Fucking prick. He's going to look at you and laugh. He's going to look at you and laugh and he's going to say, I fucking told you. It's a pipe dream. And I'm telling you how to stick it straight up Carl's fucking ass. Carl's going to be working there the rest of his fucking life. You're out of there. You're leaving. You're fucking firing that place. They're not firing you. You're not being made redundant. It's being made redundant. Why the fuck are you going to wait around and sit there and spend 8-10 fucking hours a day, hour fucking commute, just to make what you can fucking make in one fucking scalp? Make the whole fucking salary in a week in one fucking scalp. You're going to keep fucking around, doing dumb shit and prolong that experience. You keep pushing it away further and further when you don't listen to good advice. You have to listen. You don't have the benefit of, well, it's going to take me 2 years. No, you don't have that now. You have this year, okay? You have this fucking year. Time is running the fuck out. And all the advantages, all the opportunities that we have right now, these freedoms, these things, it's all going to change. You don't realize it, but it's going to happen real sudden. There's going to be an event that takes place and the shit's going to go upside down. And most of you are going to know what I just said, and it's going to be too late because you didn't do anything I told you to do. You're not going to have food. You're not going to have over-the-counter medicines. You're not going to have resources that you take advantage of right now and just, well, you know, everybody can do that. Toilet paper. I told everybody, buy toilet paper, get stocked up. This shit's going to be fucking like gold. And everybody laughed. And then you couldn't find anything to wipe your ass, could you? Yep. Wait till you see what's coming next. You better take this serious. I'm telling you, you better take it serious. This is a Noah's Ark event type thing. You better listen. Because the fucking storm clouds are growing. It's getting dark, folks. And guess what? I think I just felt a fucking raindrop. You have to be seriously doing the right things. And stop fucking around. Are you listening? I know sometimes I can get on a rant here and entertain you. But with everything I'm saying, I mean it. And I've been batting 1,000 since 2019 with all this bullshit. If you listen, you have all the advantages. If you don't listen, you're going to regret it. You won't be successful. You won't be prepared. And you're going to feel a level of stress that you can't even imagine right now. You think it's hard right now, not making your ends meet? You can't even imagine what's coming. I'm going to feel it. And I'm well off. All these jokers out there claiming they're rich, talking down to people, you're broke. They're all going to be crying the fucking blues just like everybody else. Money ain't going to have the same effect as it does right now. So you need to be able to get what you can when you can get it. Stock your house up, make your house ready. Non-perishable food. I'm just going to fucking say it, folks. Listen, if you can't see what's about to break loose, it's easy to say, oh, over there, it's happening over there, it's not going to bother us. No. It's going to be everywhere. You think that shit that they were trying to stick in everybody for everybody's health was all they were going to do? No. That's priming. That's what that is. That's priming. You're all going to be expected to do shit that you don't want to do. Or you can't come to work. You can't make your money. What do you do then? You have a plan B for that? It's a lot of shit coming. Too much for a podcast or Twitter space. And I'm not even promising that this is going to be an answer for it, but it's the best I got. Because I don't know. I don't know where to put my wealth, where I feel like it's safe. It won't be. Nothing will be. They're all going down. Everything's going down. You're being told it's a great reset. It's going to be great for them. Universal basic income is what you're going to be expected to be placed on, and I'm not doing that. And as long as this is made available, and this is why I say sometimes when I say a little too much, when I say that there may be a time when we can't trade, there's never been a time in history ever where there's been more entrepreneurs speculating and making their own paychecks in markets, in trading, than it is right now. And you think that they're not going to fuck with us? We're the Mavericks. We're the fucking rebels. We're the ones that can put our fingers up and say, fuck you! Fire me, bitch! I'm unemployable. Fuck off. But what happens when a convenient, unfortunate event unfolds where the stock market won't open? What happens when central bank digital currencies make it a little different for Forex? What happens when a lot of currencies just don't exist anymore and they unify? Are you prepared for something like that? Let me remind you, back in 1992, when I was looking at a daily range in the S&P with the approximation of a stop loss today, that was the daily range. I couldn't fathom days like we see now. It was completely unrealistic for me to imagine the volatility that we all have the benefit to engage in and just take it for granted. This is the way it is, baby. This is the way it is. No, it's not. It's just the way it is right now. And that can severely change. It could multiply bigger than this. Who says it fucking can't? Because I'm going to tell you something. I would have put the $1 million immediately on the fucking table in the 90s. That it would never look like it does today. I couldn't see it. I didn't have the visibility. Just like you can't see what I'm telling you is coming. I had people quit my private mentorship and call me a fucking loony motherfucker. I was out of my mind. They quit because I told them that the world was going to come to a fucking halt. Something shit was coming. I was tweeting this in 2019. I said something wicked is fucking coming in July. Then I tweeted it again in October 2019. I said some shit is coming worse than 9/11 when they had all of that shit. They were priming people. And the whole world went to a screeching halt. You can't see your family members. You can't hug your dying relatives. You can't see a funeral. You can't go to work. You got to work at home. Nobody believed any of that was possible. And folks, listen. Listen. It hasn't even started yet. It hasn't even began. And you're walking around looking at your smartphone, distracted like a fucking zombie, worrying about who likes you on social media, who you control better than the next guy, who has the most cool YouTube, who does the fanciest live streams, who's following this many, and that one has more followers than me or that. That's nothing. That's stupid shit. If you're trying to compete with somebody right now and you're oblivious to what's coming, you need to wake the fuck up. If you have a family, you have children, a spouse, a significant other, a partner, you need to start talking about how you can preserve your way of living as best way as you can. Secure food for your home that's non-perishable. Look what the fuck just happened up in Ohio. You think that's random? You think it happening in South Carolina days later? How about in Texas? You think that's just, oh, well, they have lots of train derailments all year long. You just do the numbers and look at all the statistics. There's a lot of train derailments. Yeah, there is, absolutely. But now we have a convenient opportunity for all this shit to leak hazardous material into our drinking water, our well water, the Great Lake. And those rivers, they tie together, folks. They don't teach things in school like they used to. That's why I homeschooled my kids. We were doing the public school for a little while. But when I found out that they weren't even teaching history, they stopped teaching civics the way we learned it. We learned about the Constitution. We learned about the way laws are really made, not fucking executive orders. And listen, don't get your ass all twisted up here thinking I'm a Trumper, because I said that he was going to get elected and they're going to turn everything upside down with him. He had a role in all this bullshit. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I've never voted in my fucking life, ever. I'm outside that bullshit. It's a Hegelian dialect. It's, you think you have a fucking choice and you don't. You don't. And some of you that walk around and you think you have everything fucking figured out because you're a Republican or you're a Democrat or you're an independent or you don't vote like me. And you got your head in the fucking sand. You have no idea what's coming. It's going to roll over top of you like a steam fucking roller, and you're going to be shocked how everything becomes so hard. Am I making any money talking to you right now? Is there any ads running? No. I'm telling you this because I care. I'm telling you this because I knew this shit back in 2010. And I wanted to get out in front of it as much as I could, but I was afraid to talk about it. And I was trying to drop hints, and they all called me fucking Chicken Little on Twitter before. Yeah, well, nobody's fucking laughing in March of 2020, were they? And that ain't even started yet. All they did was gain some ground that they're never going to give up. War is coming. In the mainland of the US, our citizens, we don't know how to deal with a Pearl Harbor event. Not in the mainland, we don't. People are wigging out about what took place up there at that train derailment and that hazardous material and then exploding it and burning it and all that shit flying up everywhere. That's very close to where I live. Very close. We got friends and neighbors that are on the coast, not the coast, but the border of Ohio and Pennsylvania, and their animals are dead. We have a well here. I'm concerned. What happens? Does that shit make it into my water supply? What's your procedure? What do you do? I already distill all my water. A reverse osmosis system may not work. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't know the fuck. I don't know what that shit was. Is it going to be a problem for me? I don't know. We're going to be met with these types of things in a more intensification and more frequency, and shit's going to get bad. You should not, and you cannot get emotional about that loss. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. If you've done the work of backtesting and you've seen how many times it's done it, how many times you would have seen it and potentially failed, but yet the next day or the next trading session, it materializes and there it is. But if you over leveraged and you placed more emphasis on the outcome of that singular trade, because you just got $100 more and you can get to that funded account, you'll pass your challenge. When you have that small little obstacle and you want to do more than necessary to overcome it, so that way you can get to some feat, some plateau, a funded account, and then you lose it. And you feel like, oh, I should have never done that. Let me hurry up and fix it. And you're jumping in when there's no model there to be entering on. You're impulsively reacting to what price is doing right now after you've taken a loss, whether being squeezed out of the marketplace or actually getting a hard stop hit. At that moment, your brain's going to revert back to what you know. What have you been trained to observe and price? If you've done no backtesting, if you've collected no journals of these things occurring and growing comfortable with, sometimes you might get it wrong. The model's not incorrect. You are. When I mess it up, I did it wrong. But when you have a loss, you should not go and start imagining the end of the world, like you have to hurry up and fix this. Lord forbid you go home with a negative drawdown. Lord forbid, that can't happen. I mean, we're supposed to be profitable every day. We're supposed to be profitable every trade. That's not practical. You're learning how to do this. In the beginning, you got to give yourself permission to, hey, I'm going to make mistakes. And you want to learn how to make those mistakes safely in the beginning and make lots of them, because that's where your learning is going to come. And the mistake of trying to avoid losing or losing streaks only invites more of that. It's a weird paradox. The more you try to avoid taking a loss, the more likely you're going to have them. Why? How could that possibly be like that? Because you're trying to do something psychologically, emotionally, stimuli is forcing you to act impulsively instead of following the model. How many silver bullets can form in that 1 hour? You're looking for one. That's all you're looking for. It's not going to be 6 of them. It's not going to be a baker's dozen. It's one. And if you missed it or you did it wrong, don't go back in. Let it go. It's going to be real, real hard for the men to do that. But the ladies in my fold, they're like, you know what? I'll just tape read the rest of it. I'll journal it. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. And it's just more experience. Next. No, not the guys. Just imagine John Wick, okay? They just lost. They just got stopped out of their trade. That's it. Where's my sledgehammer? I'm going down in the basement. I'm busting my basement's floor up. I'm pulling out another weapon. I'm going to war. I've done it. Trust me, I've done all that stuff. And every time I did that, the account got blown. You turn one small little insignificant loss into a comeback story that becomes a tragedy. And you do it to yourself. It's very easy to unplug. If you have the data, the resources of collecting these back-tested results, studying a model, sticking to the rules. You're not supposed to be going in there taking multiple entries between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. You're not supposed to be doing that. That's not the model. If you missed it, don't chase it. Let it go. The ladies in my fold, they can do that easily. The men, nope, it's an invitation to a street fight. They're wanting to bring a knife to a gunfight. That's exactly what they do. And I love them for their tenacity and their willful commitment to go in there and just do battle. But you have to pick and choose your battles, man. You can't go in there expecting your weapon to do what's usually formidable and capable of doing what's necessary in a silver bullet or whatever model that you're trying to work with. If you've missed that opportunity, the probabilities of you being successful at that moment have shifted to less likely. Not impossible, but less likely. So why would you want to push at that moment when you're now highly sensitive to the fact that you have taken a paper cut? And that's exactly what it should be. Not 10% of your account. Not, well, I lost the max loss on my funded account challenge today. Why? Why? Why are you opening yourself up to that measure of risk? Because you want to get through that funded account challenge fast. Because you think that something magical will happen. You're not going to have losing trades when you get to the funded account. You're going to be scared to death if that's how you feel when you're in the funded account challenge portion of it. When you get to the funded level, you're going to be scared. You won't want to take a trade. And you're going to wait and watch price start moving outside of the entry time when you should have taken it. And then you're going to exit way too soon too. So you're going to chase price where it's not in a very low risk, high probability entry, silver bullet. You're going to wait for what you think is confirmation. The price is going to move. And you're thinking, okay, yeah, it's right. It's definitely going now. It's unmoved 8 handles in the S&P. And I could probably eke out 4 more because it's about ready to go to that buy side. So yeah, I'm giving up 8, but I'm going to make 4. So, it's not real money anyway. It's a funded account challenge. If that's how you're thinking, and folks, you need to be real honest with yourself. If that's what you're doing right now, you're not prepared to be trading with a funded account or live money at all. And I know that doesn't feel good to hear that, but that's exactly the medicine you need to take right here, right now. If you're ignoring that, if you're ignoring the fact that you're not prepared, see, my female students, they bring those observations about themselves to me with those very things, pointing out, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm thinking about at the time when I take a loss, this is what I'm considering. Is this right? If it's not right, tell me what I should be doing. The men want to complain to me that it's hard. What's different there? They went out to battle and they got their ass kicked. And they want to be coddled. The women understand that they're not going to win every time. But they got to make preparations. Things still got to get done, even if they take a loss. They still have to keep their account. Men think, well, I can respawn. It's only this much money to restart the account. My son did the same thing. That was the mentality. That was his words. It doesn't cost that much to reset it, so I'm just going to try to do it really fast. When that's not doing anything but fostering poor habits. You're inviting difficulty in your trading when you think like that. And what do you think is going to happen over time trading like that? Ill-equipped, you haven't done time back testing, you haven't collected data to support the idea that the model you're trading with or trying to trade with, if you're even following it, what's the sense of even going through learning a model if you're not going to adhere to it? What's the whole purpose of even studying certain things, whether it be by me or someone else, if you're not really going to follow the model? I have lots of students, male, that say, I follow this. And I say, okay, show me your trades. They're real uncomfortable with that, because when they show me their trades, they're entering way outside the boundaries of where the trade should be taken. What's going on there? They're not following the model. Or they're not good enough to identify it because they haven't spent enough time studying old moves and getting bored with that. Then tape reading it and seeing repeat. Think about why I gave you that model. Why did I give you that model? It's a high frequency trading model that repeats every single day, 3 sessions per day. I already know what you're looking for. You want to have experience quickly. You don't want to be waiting on a daily chart setup. You want to learn what it is that you're supposed to know. You want to get out there, do what you have to do, and start making money. I get it, folks. I understand. But there are certain things that you cannot speed through. You can't just rush through it and think that, well, I'm going to be the exception. I'm really good at this. You don't understand ICT. I was made for this. I was built for this. When you include money in that, you have now changed the whole dynamic. It's not enough to be right or wrong anymore. Now you have to be right. And if you're wrong, not lose more than it's reasonable. So if you're not going to follow the model, if you're not going to train yourself to see what it is that should be followed and allow the data to support the idea that the model's sound, you're not going to have the mentality to follow it because you're not going to trust it. You haven't seen it enough. You're familiar with it. Oh, yeah, that's a fair value gap. That's easy. They've been around since the 1900s. These are people that can't follow a model. You don't want to be that. You want to be someone that says, you know what? I'm treating this like a business. Okay, I don't have time. Things are changing. I want to be ahead of all this stuff. I want to start making money consistently, and I want to be able to weather losing streaks and know that it doesn't mean that the model's broken. It doesn't mean that the algorithm has been canceled and done away with. The markets have now shifted into some kind of unknown randomness. You're going to trust that you did it wrong. Okay, there's nothing to beat yourself up about. There's another opportunity coming around in a couple more hours. Just sit around, wait for it. Don't rush to get in there and get it back. Don't fear losing, because the fact of you trying to prevent a loss, you are going to do things that actually invite it. And that will be a repeating loser's cycle that you will go through and won't identify it. You'll swear up and down you're following the model. You'll swear up and down that the broker did it to you. That so-and-so did it to me again. Them guys did it to us guys. When you just didn't do it right. That's all. And mental health is managed, and I understand I'm bipolar, and this is going to be something of a rich topic to touch on, but I think I'm equipped to do so. I wrestle with a lot of that kind of stuff, and it's very hard for me to focus. I have to imagine my son being in front of me when I'm talking like this, because when I allow myself to think about how many people are actually listening, it messes me up. Doesn't sound like that, does it? But that's the truth. Your mental health as a trader needs to be guarded. You got to keep all the bullshit out. No negative. Don't give these jokers on the internet time to give you any kind of second guessing or doubting of what it is that you're doing, or inspire you to want to go out there and bring them evidence. Fuck these people. They're broke. They want to see if they can get a rise out of you. And if they can, they own you. For that moment, they own you. Who's in control of yourself at that moment? They are. So you want to be guarding your mental health. And the way you keep yourself on the right road in progress is by following the model that you've back tested, that you have seen sometimes it doesn't work well in your hands, and that's okay. You ever had a car accident? Did you ever hit a manhole? You ever hit a curb with your tires? What happened? Something costs money, right? Did you stop wanting to drive a car because you did that? No. That's the same thing that you need to treat your trading with. You need to look at your losses. If you cannot make, let me make sure I say this correctly, because the focus is you're starting to learn how to do this. So you don't really have a baseline yet. You need to determine what you can realistically make. Well, I've given you a target, which is 5 handles. It's very low hanging fruit. It's very easy to get to. Admittedly, for someone new, it doesn't feel so easy, does it? But over time, you'll get there. It's easy. And then it'll grow exponentially beyond that. But if you're trading one micro, not many, micro, what are you really risking if you risk 5 handles to make 5? $25. Man, I don't got time for the $25 thing, ICT. Well, then I can't help you. Because what you're saying is you don't want to condition your mind to follow a model. Because if you can do that very, very well, what do you think is happening when you apply it to 1 mini? And then eventually 5 minis, 10, 15. You're not equipped to appreciate the level of focus that's required for you to trust the model, not looking at the money. I wish I could encapsulate. I wish I would have took the picture of my son's face. You know, I was talking to him in front of Caleb last night. I said, how does it feel? How does it feel to see what you work all week to earn at a coffee shop, putting up with fucking ignorant, fucking self-entitlement pieces of shit, talking down to you, thinking that you're subhuman, you're a fucking servant, that they can wipe their fucking shoes on you like a doormat? How does it fucking feel to know that you did your whole week and more, a little bit more actually, in one day using one contract? How does that feel? He goes, I'm wasting my time, Dad. I'm wasting my time doing this. And that's exactly the fucking target I was aiming for. That was the fucking target I have been aiming for all year long with this boy. And I have been peacocking like a motherfucker around this fucking house, flaunting my ass in front of my wife saying, yep, I fucking told you. I told you it would happen. I told you. I fucking told you. And this ain't it. He's going up. He's going to fucking arrive at every fucking goal he's ever had, because the look on his face last night said it all. Fuck working. Fuck a fucking job. He's made the best ever decision to not go to college. It's exactly what I fucking want him to do, because college education, that might be great for some people, but guess what? If you're listening to me, you're not a fucking worker. You're not a fucking servant. You're not a fucking pissant. You're somebody that's going to go out there and grab it by the fucking throat, throttle its fucking ass, and drag it back home because it's yours. You fucking took it. That's how it's supposed to be. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. This world owes you fuck all. It doesn't owe you shit. You got to go out there and take it by fucking force. And if you ain't paying attention, looking around, everybody that's blind to this shit, they're trying to make it impossible for you to have your own fucking way in this world. They're trying to strangle it from every one of you. All of you need to pay attention, because it's going to be crunch time here real fucking soon. You need to fix the shit that's broken in you. Identify it. Don't hide from it. Adversities are obstacles right now that are easily overcome when you identify them and put your fucking boot on their throat. Choke the fucking life out of these things, because adversities are an illusion. They're an illusion. That's all they are. These are things, they're not even fucking tangible. They're in your head. What if I fail? Okay, describe what that looks like. What does it taste like? Does it have a smell? Fuck no, it's not real. It's a fucking emotional thought, okay? It's your response to a negative fucking thinking of Many times never happening. How many what-if thinking events have you had just this fucking week that you worried about, you had anxiety about, you stressed about, that never even fucking happened? And all that time and the energy that you wasted and concern that you applied to that. How much better would you have been if you had taken that, redirected it into something positive and saying, see, you're not effective anymore. You can't hold me back anymore. I'm afraid to lose, ICT. I'm afraid that I'm going to take a loss. Okay, go out and lose. Go out there and lose in a manner where you can absorb it. Very, very small little paper cuts. And every time you have one, write down what you were expecting to see in the chart, how you felt, and at the end, how do you feel now that it happened? You're going to get to your root cause of what's causing you to take those trades. And it's going to be many times impulsiveness. Top of the list, it's impulsiveness. So how do you correct impulsiveness? You have a fucking plan with rules that says I can only trade at this time if this appears in the chart. If it's not in the chart yet, I can't fucking touch the chart. I can't push the button. I can't do shit. I cannot risk more than a micro lot, single micro lot. That's how you should be measuring your results right now. Before you even start trading with a demo, your mindset should be, I'm only looking at the lowest denominator. The lowest thing I can make money on, that's the lowest amount of leverage. How many have you done that? Chances are probably not even 10% of you. You want to do fucking 5 contracts. I'm going to say something right now, and it's probably going to offend some of you. Just understand what I'm saying. It's rooted in sincerity. Some of you are literally walking around talking about how you're going to take $100 fucking account and turn it into an empire. Do you understand that while you may be limited in your reach for finances right now, and $100 is something you can obtain and use and speculate on? I understand that. But you're placing such an Olympic fucking feat on something that's highly unlikely. And you're placing so much emphasis on you're going to do it. And look, I'm all for confidence, okay? I'm not trying to be, hypocritical here. Cheerleading you and telling you this and do this. But you have to be properly funded. And you have to be realistic too. Can I take a $100 account and turn it into whatever the fuck I want? And given enough time, yes. But are you, where you're at right now in your present development, are you really equipped to do that? If you're not, be honest with yourself. Why would you try to do that? And when you fail, it's just going to be one more little thing for you to feel frustration over. Why would you want to do that? Because you're not going to feel empowered as a trader if you did it. Because if you're honest, you're going to look back and say, yeah, I was over leveraging there. I didn't trade with a stop loss. I took a lot of stupid things and thought they were trades because I was just trying to push. You're gambling. That's not trading. That's gambling. You're doing a scratch off mentality. You go to a store where they sell lottery tickets and you take it and you scratch it off with whatever you're scratching off, and there it is. And if you win, there's no skill involved. There's zero skill in that. That's real random shit right there. Everything I'm talking to you and teaching you with has nothing to do with randomness. You have to identify how you think in the negative aspects. Don't hide from them. Don't pretend they don't exist. Don't pretend that, well, that's not really, something to be worried about. It is. Because you are what you think. If you're fearful and doubtful about your ability to trade, guess what's going to manifest itself when you push the button? That's using the driver's seat. So why are you fucking surprised when you have the results that you're getting? Why is that a mystery? Why are you tweeting to me? What's wrong with me? Why aren't you asking that of yourself in your journal and doing personal reflections where no one can judge you? And I don't know what you're thinking. I can't fix that for you. You have to identify these trigger things that happen in you. And be honest. It might be embarrassing if you were to say it out loud in front of other people, but it should not be embarrassing for you to record it in your journal. That's your safe place. That's the thing that's your fortress of solitude. Not a motherfucker can touch you there. No one can ridicule you. No one can make fun of you. No one can hurt your feelings. That's the monster laboratory. You're building a fucking monster in the pages of that journal. You have to feed it. It needs to be fed. And it grows on eating and devouring negative fucking shit. Chomping it the fuck down, grinding it into bits. And then you feed it dessert. Self-love. I'm so thankful that I've been doing this skill set or this approach to studying. I'm seeing the fruits of it. You feed that journal that, and then you read it. You don't write it and then just never look at it again. You have to treat everything like you're nurturing a child. Because in you, if you're brand new, that trader is still a baby. Are you going to feed a baby? If you gave birth to a child, are you going to give it everything that's harmful to it? You're going to feed its mind with stupid shit on TV? Letting it shape its mind and opinions about things? No. You're going to try to nurture it. Shield it from bullshit. Protect it. Guard it. That's exactly what you're doing with the future self as a trader in a journal. And anybody, any fucking clown joke asshat that says journaling doesn't work, I guarantee you, I fucking promise you, they're broke. They're fucking broke. They don't know how to fucking trade consistently. They can't trade their fucking way out of a wet paper bag, but they're going to give you advice. They're miserable people. Some of you feel like you're out there with this metal detector trying to find the lost piece of the ICT puzzle. And we'll talk more about that later in this presentation, but I just want to be a little gentle reminder that what you're here for, what was the original reason for you to come to me seeking whatever it is that you sought? What was that driving passion that brought you here? And how have you been distracted? Is it things at work? Is it things at home? I've read some tweets from individuals saying that their spouse were not in support of what they're doing. And it won't matter if I were to talk to them individually and say, hey, look, I promise you, I'm going to get your husband or your wife, your significant other, your partner on the path of profitability. Scout's honor, I promise. They won't believe it. And this is kind of like what I was tweeting yesterday. A couple of the fellows that are out there, they're, in my opinion, doing something really cool. I like what they're doing. And I joined their live stream on YouTube, and I shared the link. And I prompted them to talk about certain things that I wanted to more or less segue into this weekend somehow and just be part of the presentation. But I think it's going to be predominantly 90% of it. And when you first come to someone to learn a skill, whether it be trading, whether it be a sports, event or something, like a golfer wanting to learn how to drive a golf ball better or putt better, or a shooter, okay, you want to learn how to shoot better. And you come there to that teacher, that person that wants to offer their experience to you. And you come to them many times with these preconceived notions that you know how you should be taught. So you already have in your mind what it is that this educator should or should not do. And then if it doesn't meet that expectation that you have, admittedly, you'd have to admit that you're coming to that person in a state of ignorance. You have no idea what you're supposed to be doing, but you're holding on to this idea that you know how you should be taught when you don't know the subject matter. You're the student. You're not even the student yet. You're just coming there with a spirit of expectation. And some of you come with a spirit of entitlement, thinking that it's owed to you faster, like somehow that you're supposed to be ushered to the front of the line ahead of everyone else that's been working very hard, diligently to try to learn this skill set. And sometimes because of either cultural barriers or language barriers, I may not be able to properly articulate what it is that is necessary for you to understand something. In that regard, that's what makes me not a good mentor. Okay, and that's why I say I'm not the best mentor. But the things I'm teaching, I often pray that I find a way to get that message that I'm trying to talk about to and through all of you. And this isn't probably the best medium to do it, because you're only going to hear me in my native tongue, which is English. And sometimes it's not that good. Sometimes I talk in words that aren't all that refined. And sometimes I use colorful words that I'm not proud of, but I'm trying to do my best. Most times, like I am today, I'm trying to be very balanced, because this is a topic that in my mind needs to be reminded constantly throughout your progress. And because there's a new influx of new students coming to me all the time, it's important for you to come in with the right mindset and not lose sight of what you came here for. You should be here for one reason only: to learn how to make money. That's it. If a secondary supporting reason is that you want to be amongst other people that are doing what you're doing and see their growth, see their concerns, see the barriers, the speed bumps that they have to go through. So that way it reminds you that it's not just you that's going through it. It's everyone goes through the same. I went through it. And most, like everything else I've ever taught, there's going to be this point in which when you're listening to me or watching me do executions or talking about what the market's going to do, you'll have selective hearing, because you're coming to me with your preconceived notions about what it is that you need. So you think you need to know this or that, and then you'll be understanding better when you're sitting down in front of the charts live. And that is an illusion. I felt that way as a young man. I felt that, all I had to do was read a few books and I'd figure it out. Not knowing that I was going to be a huge barrier, like you are, and like everybody else that does this. That 7-pound universe that's in between your ears, that brain, has a wonderful, ability to present distractions or reasons not to do certain things or follow rules.